Let's go over the Rehab Coach AI platform. It's essentially a personal guide to a successful recovery for any of your knee issues, specifically ACL or MCL injuries. It's essentially a real-time guidance and a way to track and keep progress of your injury ever from the time that you have your injury all the way to the time you have a surgery and all the way for you to fully come to your regular activities, right? It's very personalized to your injury because we understand that, not everyone's ACL injury is the same. Everybody recovers slightly differently. There's a whole aspect of personalization here. We use many of the industry standard along with industry experts. They're training athletes at this point to get back from these injury recoveries and we're bringing it to a common person so that everyone can recover at a very high rate. They can come back stronger prior to the injury. So it's like we have a whole platform for exercises along with nutrition because we understand it's a whole balance. It works hand in hand to have a successful recovery. So how the platform essentially works is that once you actually start in, you go ahead and you fill out some basic information. Give us information about your injury type, what kind of injury you had. In this case, if you have an ACL tear. Also tell us when did you have your surgery. This allows us to kind of personalized recovery platform. And essentially you kind of talk about, your recovery phase, right? Like you just got a surgery recently, you a little bit more further along, whatnot. So in this case, I'm going to select our surgery, current status of how you're feeling, right? Whether it's pain or mobility, have very low, very high pain and very low mobility. It's kind of talking about your primary goal of recovery, right? It's competitive sports, recreational activities, or you just want to gain full range of motion, prevent future injuries. Every one of these goals kind of personalize your plan for nutrition and from a recovery perspective and exercise as well. So in this case, I want to get back to competitive sports. I want to get back to competitive basketball again. I have about 6 to 9 months before my next season starts. And my main goal again, return to sports, obviously improve strength, better mobility, and also just build better confidence for my knee. Lastly, what's my fitness level, right? Pre-injury. Was I an athlete? Was I just average Joe, just doing regular activities? In this case, I'm just going to put advanced. And what kind of equipment do you have available at your home? Or I have full access to a gym and, basic resistance bands and training preferences. You can select between daily short sessions or mixed. I'm going to select mixed. And lastly, we're with Rehab Coach, we're very big on why, because everyone has a purpose of what they want to get back from this injury. This why is the most important every time when you have a bad day or a hard day. We kind of use this why as a platform to motivate you to get you through your exercises and have a strong goal there. So here, my main goal is I want to get back to becoming an athlete, right? And it's also a pledge here. I pledge that, I want to get back to my comeback journey. After this, we're going to go ahead and dive into our dashboard here.
So when you log into the dashboard, there's various few things that you kind of see right off the bat. We kind of show you how you're recovering. We call it the knee confidence score, essentially how we think you're progressing week over week. And the thing that you also see is obviously the plan for today. You have five exercises for today. And the next important thing is your next check-in, right? Whether it's with the doctor, your ortho surgeon. And we kind of have it in a way where you can kind of see your previous messages with your doctor, whether it's your previous physio, what their notes look like. And we kind of use a lot of their notes to kind of figure out, what exercise you should be doing. So in this case, if they say you should do more hamstring curls, more resistance, kind of take that in and obviously alter your exercises based on that. So along with the exercises, you also see your weekly goals, right? The set amount of goals that you have per week as you're progressing that you want to make sure you're hitting, and this kind of keeps track of your goals. You have as part of your rehab plan. So this is a little bit more in detail of how you're recovering, your week over week, how you're doing, what the goal of the week is, and in this case, your exercise for today. One thing we can also do is really, really explaining why this given exercise works at this given point. What's the point of these exercises at this point and what are they actually doing? Aspect we have is obviously a big component, which is nutrition. Right? Nutrition plays a huge factor into how you're recovering as part of, as you're doing more strenuous exercises. You have a lot more information, how you kind of can handle a lot of those stuff. So obviously, a lot of nutrition that we kind of provide. It changes week over week, but things that you should be kind of catering, what you should be eating on a week over week. Then also obviously protein is a big aspect. So we kind of share how you should be taking, what you should be taking per meal and all that stuff there. And then we also provide just simple meal ideas that you can kind of take per day. And this can, obviously be altered based on your preferences. And then lastly, one more important thing that we have is your supplements. So again, a lot of these supplements, it's pretty personalized. What you should be taking, a lot of this information is from industry leading experts and studies that, get put out on a weekly basis, and just general large health professionals what they're also sharing. And last but not least, that you have as part of your dashboard is a coach that you can kind of speak to, right? You're in the middle of the night, you have some spelling, you want to figure out what should I be doing, how should I manage it, or just like, hey, like you need some motivation, right? A lot of the exercise you're not able to progress, how you can kind of get a lot of that stuff. It's almost like a companion that you can kind of speak to just to get some information and whether you're feeling lost and whatnot. So that's like an overview of the dashboard.